Well, hello and welcome to Almaty, Kazakhstan. Some glorious pictures of this town that has just exploded over the last couple of decades. Oil and gas money. And this is one of the capitals of Kazakhstan. Certainly in terms of sport, the World Championships of boxing. Now the World Championships of weightlifting. And my goodness, it's been good so far. So welcome into the Balwan Sholak Sports Palace, Almaty, Kazakhstan, the IWF World Championships of 2014. And as our crowd are entertained, right down the middle of the stadium, there is a big high barrier. Behind it, the stage. These men are warming up, ready to go into action with the snatch and the clean and jerk. Olympic weightlifting at its very best. Men's 77 kilos. A Group World Championships. Daniel Goodelli at the top there, one of two Albanians. Kim Kwang-song of the People's Republic of Korea, perhaps favourite for this category for today. But there is a great Chinese lifter here as well, Zhong Yushon, though the big dog of this category over the last few years. Liu of China has stepped down, having won the Asian Championships recently. Obviously getting a little tired. We see some of the athletes here. There's Asayonyak, 2013 European Junior Champion. Kirill Pavlov, fourth of the 2013 Asians. There are 11 athletes in total, alongside me, Colin Bryce, Michaela Breeze, Ibrahim Abdel Baki, fifth in the 2012 Olympics. And I think it's quite open, this category, different than some of the categories we've seen so far at this World Championships, where there's just been one outstanding character. Michaela.
Yes, he's out. China have replaced with a different lifter. Zhong is, he's got some massive starting weights, and I think this could be the first category at these World Championships where we see over 200 kilos in the clean and jerk. It's going to be very close, though, with People's Republic of Korea. Kim Kwang-song is the second place at the Asians this year, so it's going to be a very tight competition.
200 kilograms, this man could do it. 2013 Asian Junior Cup champion. And he's not too much known about him, but one thing you do know, when PRK is next to your name and you're at a world-class weightlifting competition, then you're going to be in the mix. Well, Kim Kwang-song, we certainly know quite a bit about him. Second at the recent Asian Games, and he was only beaten by Liu, who, of course, isn't here, the Olympic champion, the reigning world champion. So he certainly has to be favourite for today.
Hi, I'm Ola Jordan. Want to know my 3 steps to clear skin?
Introducing all-new Proactive Plus, our 3-step spot-fighting solution. Cleanse, treat, hydrate. Order now at proactive.co.uk.
Since I've been using Proactive Plus, I've never felt more positive.
For clear skin you can count on.
Eurosport Player is the Eurosport multi-screen service. With Eurosport Player, watch British Eurosport and British Eurosport 2 live on all your favourite devices through a single subscription. Follow great sporting events live and on demand. Enjoy exclusive content such as multi-table coverage for snooker tournaments. Eurosport Player. All sports, all emotions, all screens. With winter sport about to take centre stage, Ski Pass puts you in the know.
Hello and welcome.
And this week, the focus is on slalom, with special guest Felix Neureuther on what's required to make the grade. Plus the latest Alpine news from Axel Lundsvindal.
Could use two, so Henry.
Tomorrow, Ski Pass with special guest Felix Neureuther on British Eurosport.
The 5th Alpine Ski World Cup is brought to you by Longines, official timekeeper.
Well, this is what happened in the men's B group earlier on. We've had so many weightlifters, B groups, D groups, C groups. This was the top clean and jerk, won 86 kilograms by Pippa. Stuck it overhead, Good, solid lift. And that's the best lift, therefore, carry forward to this A group that they have to surpass. Just because those B group, C group lifters aren't on the platform here doesn't mean their totals don't count towards the overall. It is always possible to have the world champion coming from the B group. Unlikely, though we did see it at the London Olympics. It was a bit of a shock. One of the lifters from the People's Republic of Korea was put in there, we think, just to try and take pressure off him. And that was Om, who actually won the world title here earlier in the week in his weight category. Managed to come out and do a world record in the snatch, and then suddenly everyone knew that this B group lifter was being very much held back to avoid the pressure of the A group. And there is a lot of pressure for these men, of course. They've been training for not just weeks for this. Some of them, it's a decade's worth of work coming out in 3 lifts in the snatch here. So we're about to get underway in the men's 77 kilo Group A category at this IWF World Weightlifting Championships in Kazakhstan. The best snatch from the B group, 154 kilograms. That was Sanchez Rivero of Venezuela. And as we saw earlier, 186 kilograms is the best clean and jerk. 154, how long do you see that holding up here, Michaela?
Well, we've got a 154 as a starting weight coming out now. Mohammed, who's in picture from Egypt. Sorry, he's got 145 down. So after he's finished his 3 lifts, I think we're going to be very quickly up to the 150s. So I reckon 2 or 3 lifters in, and we should be surpassing the weights that were lifted in the B group earlier today.
Yes, what we have that I'm afraid you don't have right now is what their expected first lift is. And of course, that could all change. And we've seen that 145 for Mohammed is what he was expected to come out at. And that's what we're starting the competition at. The expected start weight for Zhong of China, 170 kilos. Not far off the world record. That might just be games.
Well, there's a lot of pressure coming into this competition. The crowd are still settling. It's still quite noisy in the auditorium here. We're going to be, you know, the spectators coming in will be coming in to see the bigger lifts. Not that respectful for the first few lifters coming out here, and it can be somewhat distracting being the first lifter onto the platform. Not the start that Mohammed would have liked to have seen in the snatch phase. Good extension. Just caught it very high, and the last part of the lift was quite soft. I'm sure he'll come back and have a successful second attempt.
As he certainly pulled it high enough, he's got the power there. There is Cho of North Korea, who's, well, you could say a new guy really to the international scene. We don't know too much about him. 21 years old, but we do expect quite a bit. 150 is his expected opener. The second highest expected opener is Kim Kwang. Actually, that's a fib. It's actually Daniel Goodelli, 162. I was going to say 160, but of course they're always changing these starting weights. And the highest at 170. You can see the difference there. 8 kilograms. I mean, I doubt very much Zhong will come in for that. It's just way too high.
China often put their starting weights up very, very high. They just leave it there, wait to see what everybody else does. Nobody else seems to worry about them. And then at the last minute, they'll bring it down to just take the lead. So I'm fairly sure, unless there's a disastrous warm-up, that that's what we're going to see here.
145 for a second ask. And he nails it. Good lift.
More dynamic underneath the bar. Not quite as soft as the previous attempt. He's in the competition. Remember, these lifters only have 3 attempts. It's not 3 attempts at each weight, it's 3 attempts full stop. So if a lifter misses a lift, like he did on his first, you have the choice of either taking the same weight again or increasing. You can increase it as much as you want, but what you cannot do is bring the bar down in weight.
there comes out the second of the Egyptians, Ibrahim Ramadan Ibrahim Abdelbaki. 148 kilograms to open his account. Remember, 3 lifts in the snatch and then 3 in the clean and jerk. The 2 lifts are added together to get the total world champion.
Very quick through the middle part of the lift. That's where all the power and explosion is generated. Some really good float on the bar. And this lifter has some credentials behind him. 5th place at the Olympics in London. He has been a world junior champion back in 2008, but he's got experience of competing on this kind of stage. That was a very good first attempt.
Yeah, 26 years old now. Quite a low starting weight for him. There's Dr. Lee of Kazakhstan, keeping an eye on his weightlifter. So Fire Chinshanlao earlier in the week, getting not just 1 world record in the clean and jerk, but she followed it with a 2nd and the world title again. So Kazakhstan have had a good world weightlifting championship so far, but they do expect more medals. Maybe not from Curiel Pavlov, 150 kilograms on the bar now. But he was 4th at the recent Asian Games, so he's an outside contender for a total medal, and potentially does have a very good clean and jerk. Potentially there you could get into the top 3. There are, of course, medals here for both of the disciplines, and that was quick, goodness.
Well, it was quick, it was solid, no messing around. He knew exactly where that bar was going overhead. When these lifters perform so many thousands of repetitions, time after time, they know exactly where they are in relation to the bar. Very, very confident opening attempt. Great to see. Exploded through the middle, solid at the bottom, no sinking, not soft at all.
Ara Kachatrian of Armenia, 32 years old, experienced man. He's doing well in around 2004, 5, 6, just missing out on podiums, occasionally getting onto the podium of European Championships. And then in 2010, came out in the snatch, went right the way up into the gold medal position, and then blew his elbow out. So this is perhaps redemption for a 32-year-old who peaked a number of years ago, but it was all just snatched cruelly away from him, if you excuse the pun. 150 is his opener, and that looked pretty solid.
Yes, it did. You can see from that starting position as the bar came off the floor, chest was really low, and there was rotation in the shoulder as he stood up. A long way over the bar means it's more of a back exercise, and you talk about the elbow going. Not surprisingly there, he's still got some instability.
So John Wee, 150 to start. This is the lesser known of the North Koreans.
Just see how hot it is. Just wonder whether he's had a quick fitness session in the background. I mean, the warm-up room, it is stiflingly hot, and the coaches are often fanning these lifters down with towels to try and keep them cool, get the air circulating. But if an athlete has done a quick warm-up, very, very strong in the legs. You can just see how heavily his legs are built.
Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Good back strength off the floor, great extension. Lands nice and solidly on flat feet.
So the Egyptian back out for his 3rd. You can see he's currently ranked 9th, so still well down on a lot of the B group lifters. And if he were to hit this 150, it will certainly bring him right up the rankings.
He did well to save that, landed it, but had to sink in just to steady himself. You can see he's not comfortable, probably shoulder.
Perhaps right shoulder there, his arm looks kind of frozen.
Watch the position, he lands it, then has to sink. Shoulders are taking a lot of strain.
Next out is the Thai competitor, Chatterfum Chinawong. Fourth at the Olympic Games, just missed out on the medals in London. Now he'd love to get up onto the podium here. 152 kilos to start him in the snatch.
Well, Chinawong would have come into this competition with some confidence behind him. Second place at the Youth Olympic Games earlier this year. Repeat that, second place at the Youth Olympic Games back in 2010.
Just
checking facts there, my mistake. But he's a lifter with some experience, competing on the international stage for a while. He's been third at the Asian Championships this year.
It's Michaela's doctor's handwriting here. Anyway, out comes our number 2 Egyptian, 26 years old, Abdel Baki. Oh. 153. So not much up on his first lift.
Just see the frustration. Very strong, well capable of the weight. More of a technical issue than anything. Just rushed the starting position, was on his toes all the way. So if that bar is on your toes before it gets to your knees, there's no way you can recover. Just jump backwards, there's a problem. Jump backwards, landed on his toes. He's okay, there's clearance there for his knees just about underneath the bar.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to draw a straight line up and down, how close does the bar and snatch travel to that?
It's fairly close. It's not a straight line, so the bar doesn't literally just come straight up and straight down. If you draw a line off the floor, the bar should come backwards slightly with the shins. As it comes past the knees, there's a slight movement of the bar away as it glances off the thighs and then drops backwards again as you land overhead.
Well, you can see Rivera of Venezuela still leading the way here. Chinawong of Thailand, the best of the A group lifters so far. But let's not forget that we've only seen one of the A group lifters actually do all 3 lifts, and we're still yet to see Daniel Goodelli, Asa Yonak of Belarus, Zhong of China, the other Albanian, Caramage, the European champion, and of course Kim, who is another one of the big favourites. So we still have a long way to go in this snatch. Coming out then for his third and final, 153 again for Abdel Baki. And if he doesn't get this, he is really leaving himself so far away from what we assume the others will be, that one of the dark horses will be counted out early here. He needs this.
So much better. Expected that on his second attempt. You can see the relief, frustration at the same time. He wanted more. When you only have 3 lifts, it really is difficult. You've got to make sure that every lift is precision perfect. And he made 1 mistake. Let's see how much that's going to cost him now as we go into the rest of the competition. Lands on flat feet that time.
Yeah, it makes such a difference, doesn't it? If you're on your toes, back in your heels, when you're in that deep, deep position, unless you're incredibly strong, it's hard. to pull it back. Now, this is Peter Asayonak of Belarus, going for his opener, 1.54.
Well, there's a textbook lift. Took his time in the starting position, really extended those arms, chest up nice and high. Great extension through the middle. Didn't even need to recover the feet after the lift had been completed. You don't need to, so long as your feet stay in line. Completely under control.
Belarus still has a number of world records in the men's category. Snatch being one of them. Aram now, of course, up in the 105s, and Ribaku in the 85s. We'll see them tomorrow, but we're down in the 77s. And next up here at the World Championships is our Kazak lifter, Curiel Pavlov, going for 1.55. So 5 kilos up on his opener. And this must be getting very close to his personal best. 1 kilo off it.
He's going to be pleased he's got 2 out of 2. I'm not sure how much more there is there. You can see hear the crowd going absolutely crazy. Must be amazing to lift on your home platform.
Yeah, lifting on your home platform, it's great if it's going well. Probably even worse if it's going bad, though. Now, Kachatrian, he's glancing at the weights like it's been loaded incorrectly here. He's called for 1.55, or is that spots of blood?
Shake of the head, that should have been spotted by the loaders. He's gone back to the chalk bin now just to re-chalk, recompose, try and ignore what's happening on the platform. He's ready.
To be fair to the loaders, that's they've been lightning quick so far. That's their first mistake.
Yes, they have. You've also got the technical controller there on the left of the picture. He's just coming up to make sure that the job is done correctly. And it is important to remove any blood on the bar for obvious reasons, but if you see blood close to the middle of the bar, that's usually from a lifter's shins. If you see it where the lifter holds the bar, it's usually because of a tear in the hands.
The 32-year-old back at the World Championships. Very wide grip after 4 years. 4 years ago, he was in the gold medal position here and then had a terrible injury going into the clean and jerk, and has really been out of international competition since. That was a lot of back there, wasn't it?
Yeah, same as the previous lift. If you can see the replay from the side, you'll see how far over the bar he is. That means it's all going to be on the upper body, on the lower back and upper body. When the bar is that far out in front, it's very hard to put it back onto your heels.
Coming out onto the stage, Cho Yon-wee. 1.55 for his second, 1.50. Looks really comfortable. Those big quads of his firing on all cylinders.
Twitch of the shoulder, probably an injury he's had in the past. Oh, just looking at the hand. Has he had a rip? See, these lifters all wear tape on their thumbs, some of them on the fingers too, and that's really to prevent the ripping. It's unfortunate if he rips his thumb or his hand through the tape. Doctors will retape him, get him back out there. 1 attempt to go.
Kachatran going for 155. Again, just missed it. So he's only had maybe a minute and a half since he was last out on stage. So wide with his grip and all back when he lifts.
All back, not enough legs, not enough lift on the bar there. It's a shame. He's left back on 150. That could put him way down in the rankings, not even surpassing the weights that were achieved from the B group earlier.
Yeah, it's a disappointing return for him to the World Championships. It's great that he's back, though. And this is a lifter who, in the mid-2000s, was right up there, and then seemed to fall away and peaked again in 2010. Good to see a 32-year-old lifter on the platform. There's so many, well, teenagers. It's amazing how the sport seems to get younger every year. Cho, his final, 155. Hit 150 in the opener. Failed 155 in his second.
There's a lot of strain on the elbows, fighting that weight.
Goodness.
That so nearly went out the back door. Great shoulder elbow stability.
Well, the shoulder and elbow joints aren't exactly the strongest joints in the human body. And look at that left arm there. My goodness. I mean, it wasn't so muscled. That was under a lot of strain.
Yes, he was. We'll see from this angle now that didn't stand straight up. Why? Because the bar was going backwards. He had to fight that. Tremendous functional stability to stabilize himself before standing up. Most lifters would have lost that out the back door.
Okan Caramage, 156 for his opener. Now there are two Albanians in the lineup, Caramage and Daniel Goodelli. They've had some really good battles over the last few years. 2013, they were equal in total at the end of the competition at the European Championships. This man won because he was lighter in body weight.
Well, Erkant has a reputation for being super quick under the bar. Not the most consistent of lifters. Technically, throws his shoulders back, kicks the bar out in front, but when he lands it overhead, it looks effortless. And he's so quick. Not waiting at the top of the lift, not trying to pull the bar higher. Drives powerfully with the legs before dropping under. Just gets extension and is already at the bottom of the lift. Very quick.
Yeah, that bar definitely moved backwards as he went backwards there. That was a good catch, wasn't it?
Well, if you catch it in the right place, happy days. But if it's millimetre forwards, millimetre back, there's no way he's going to hold it. So, not the most proficient, hence why not the most reliable of lifters. But when he gets it right, it looks good.
Big screams, cheers for this man. Curiel Pavlov of Kazakhstan, 157 on the bar. He's made the first two lifts. This home support is really picking him up. And this would be a personal best by 1 kilogram.
Oh, superb lifting. I wasn't sure after his second attempt if he'd manage any more, but that was much better than the second attempt. Really fired up for that. See the relief, pleased with that lift. Extended upwards, the lift before he threw his hips forward, shoulders back. That was a much better technical effort.
Well, we were talking about teams getting ready, and you do see whole teams almost not quite ready, and the Kazakhs certainly as a unit, they've all been firing perfectly so far. The Turks, for example, not so, and Well, actually, the ties are looking in good condition, as they were at the Asian Championships. And this is Chatafum Chinawong going for his second lift, 158.
Well, not as good as the first one. Nowhere near. That looked a little soft, a little complacent, really lacking that explosiveness that we need through the middle. Coach is saying it's okay, no problem, we can make that right on the next attempt. Position-wise, not bad at all, just a little slow under the bar and soft in the receiving position.
So, a second attempt then for Erkan Caramage. He's done 156. It's 158. It's only 2 kilos up. Well, his technique, which was a little slapdash in the first one, hold up to this heavier weight.
It does, and that equals his best. Trademark look around.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this from the side again, whether he, the first one, he must have moved back 2 or 3 inches in the jump. Whatever he's doing, obviously he's just practiced it so many times, he's actually doing it every time. It looked like he floated a little bit backwards there, but maybe not as much. And a good lift, 158. Okay, we still have 3 men we haven't even seen yet to come into the competition, but he does have 1 reply left. And here comes Chinawong for his third and final. He's going for 158 again.
Well, he was much quicker on that attempt. More explosive, more aggressive, but not to be.
Yeah, and that's left quite a big lifter, 4th at the Olympic Games, Chinawong, and he's actually behind one of the B group lifters. 152 is now his best registered lift. He's got no more lifts, you're only allowed 3, so it's a really disappointing start for him. Well, the World Championships continues on here in the snatch in the men's 77s, and it is Peter Sonyak of Belarus, 159. So 5 kilos up on what was a pretty comfortable opener.
I'm really impressed with this lifter. Great starting position. Anybody wanting to see what a really good technical lift is, that was it. If anything, could maybe be a bit quicker, a bit sharper underneath the bar. Position-wise, absolutely spot on. 2 out of 2. He's well over his best. His best recorded as a 152 in competition, so this is 159.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have been lifting this before.
Yeah, you'd expect some lifters can execute top weights in training. Other lifters, I used to struggle. If I could get within 5 kilos of my best in training, then I knew I'd be good for another 5 on the platform. So it really depends on the lifter.
Caramage of Albania, European champion, going for 160.
No.
Oh, no.
Well, it was close.
Well, Goodelli, his compatriot and very much his opponent at the Europeans and at the Albanian Championships, and here, of course, at the World Championships, expected to come in at 162. And Caramage, if you're thinking about the Albanian battle, he's got a lighter clean and jerk posted as well. So obviously Goodelli's feeling the better of the two, despite winning the European Championships. There's the Chinese athlete who has posted a 170 opener in the snatch. We're still yet to see Zhong Yushon, who, if it's a name you haven't heard of, I think you might have heard of from the past. Yes, he's not a new Chinese weightlifter. He did win the Junior World Championships all the way back in 2006. And still yet to open his account here. So the current standings has Yonak of Belarus on top, Caramage of Albania in second. Still yet to see anyone do 160. Just to give you an idea in terms of the world record, 172 is the junior world record, 176 held by Liu, the senior world record. And this is 162. It's jumped up quite a bit. Kim Kwang-song from People's Republic of Korea, his opener.
It's a pressurised first attempt, and he's looking in disbelief. How did I miss that?
That's the kind of face you pull if you think someone's misloaded the bar and made it 10 kilos heavier. Things obviously going reasonably well backstage.
Yeah, he's upped his starting weight from 162 that he posted at the weigh-in just 2 hours ago. It was a 160, now 162. Position-wise, technically not bad. And there's just that look of disbelief. It's obviously a weight that he's usually quite comfortable with, so I'm sure we're going to see him come out now. So I'm really excited here to see Daniel Goodelli come out. He's got a personal best. Maybe I've got this wrong, but 157. He's coming out on a 163.
Yeah.
not even a European gold medalist. Second at the Europeans this year. So here he comes.
Well, the only thing I will say, and I don't want to jinx him, he does have a history of bombing, doesn't he?
Yes, bombed in, well, quite an important comp, I guess. London Olympics 2012, not the most consistent of lifters. But he's obviously coming into this with some confidence. Wow.
That was so quick.
Like his teammate, very, very fast. That's really, really catapulted him up in terms of personal best lifts on this kind of stage. But he's just got to make a total here, and he could well be in with a chance of an overall medal. That, at the moment, puts him into a guaranteed medal on the snatch. Question is, what colour?
Yeah, he's been around a while, Goodelli, but you know, he's only 22 years old. So just coming into his prime here. That's a superb lift, and he still has 2 attempts to come. So only one man left to join, and that is Zhong. He's dropped his start weight down to 166. This is Kim going for 163, he missed 162, so he's bought himself some time. He's gone up a kilo.
Wow, look how dynamic that was. Had to stagger forwards to steady himself, but didn't that fly up?
Yeah, I mean, he must have caught it slightly forward because he had to run to get under it.
But the leg power, the float on the bar, the speed underneath, almost too much, slightly out of control, but that was comfortable to arm's length. It's really hard, you know, to stand still once you start running forwards with it. Very hard to stand still. Great extension of the hips, really engages glutes throughout. Remember, the quads have to be strong and powerful to extend the knee, but the glutes just as powerful to extend the hip. Get both working together, and then you've got a powerful leg drive.
So Yonak of Belarus, his final lift. 164. Another 5 kilograms up. So another big jump for the Belarusian.
Left on 159, he's not too far away.
Yeah, I mean, just looking back, his recorded personal best, let's just remind everyone, 152.
Yeah, 152, he's done a 154, 159, 2 personal bests. Good day.
Well, The way things are looking, China has to be the red-hot favourite for this category, and we don't even have Liu here. The Olympic and world champion Liu Xiaojun has taken some time out, having won the Asian Championships 2 months ago, and handed it over to Zhong Yushon to come out and give it a crack. He's going to open his account with 166, last man to enter the competition. He did post a 170, which we thought was going to be too high to come in at. Remember, the world record's only 176. So we are starting to get within shouting distance of that, just 10 kilos away.
And if you look at Jean's stature, very short arms, legs, long back, absolutely perfectly suited to this sport. Isn't it great when you can leave the world champion at home, replace him with a teammate who's still not too far away from the world records?
Well, the truth is he's not at home, is he? He's gone off to make a little money, we think, from what we understand, and do some seminars in the USA. And I imagine he's probably watching this right now, if not live on television, on an internet feed somewhere. And I wonder whether he's thinking, is it possible for him to go up another 10 kilos and perhaps take my world record? I mean, he looked pretty comfortable there.
He did.
He suddenly think, why did I hand it over to him?
The thing is now China won't necessarily be thinking of world records. They'll be wanting to secure the gold first and foremost.
Well, Goodelli still has 2 replies, 167. Was really good in his opener.
Well, that is a huge personal best. I have that as 10 kilos up on a weight that he's lifted on the international stage.
And it's coming back to me, the whole London Olympics and his failures. You watch his right arm, he just doesn't have a pretty lockout. And he struggled with that in the past.
Well, there's not much at all that's pretty about his lifting, but he is one strong man.
Yeah, I mean, you see, he really favours, he moves right over to his left leg there. Leans onto his left side, almost to try and help that right arm that just doesn't fully lock out. It doesn't go to straight.
Well, some lifters struggle with their elbow lock, but so long as there's no movement in the elbows, once the bar is overhead, it's not a problem.
Yep, that is the key. That is the key. You just have to hold it as straight as you can. And Kim Kwang-song comes out for his final 168. So he's gone up by 5 kilos. He missed that opener, but he's woken up to this competition now.
Oh, let go. Move.
Well, hopefully he's all right there. That could have been ugly, but he seems to be okay. And I think if the platform was a bit bigger, Michaela, he might have got that. You're clutching your heart there.
Sorry, I had a minor panic then. I was more worried about his elbow going. There we are. He's holding his elbow now. Kind of don't want to see the replay, but you can watch what happens. You see, as he stands, watch his elbows. The stress those elbows are under. There it is. And that's going to have given him a kick up the backside as well with the bar. But no, it's the elbow that I would be most worried about right now. Let's hope he hasn't done any serious damage. Hope he's just tweaked it. But I don't much fancy seeing another replay.
Zhong Yushon, 171. The world record, just 176.
Well,
this might be enough to take him the gold in the snatch. Remember, Goodelli, the only man with a lift left to reply.
How is Daniel Goodelli still there? These are phenomenal weights. Well, that was good. See the aggression as he's standing out of that squat position. The pressure is still on though, he still needs to stay focused. Goodelli has 1 reply remaining, and Goodelli is the lighter man.
Yes, he is. 76.07 he weighed in at, 76.6, so 60 grams the difference between the two. And Goodelli, if he does 171 now, will be equal in weight, but the lighter man. So a big moment for the Albanian. That was so aggressive, wasn't it? Screaming the whole way through it.
Absolute superb lifting. Position was spot on all the way through the lift.
Well, Daniel Goodelli, big moment. He sits in second. If he gets this, he goes into first. Just one reply left then from the Chinese. He's got it. Go on.
That is unbelievable lifting from a man that's not even European champion. Personal best from 157 up to 171. Just
magnificent lifting. And, well, very rarely do I see negative body language from Michaela, but she shook her head he's never going to do it way.
No way. Before he came out for that lift, I was like, there's no way he's going to nail it.
Well, that is just spectacular. Having bombed so badly. Look, he's looking at the bar there. That's brilliant.
14 kilos.
He can't believe it's above him.
14 kilos up on his best. Surely he's been somewhere close to that in training to believe in it, but just incredible.
Well, if anyone is going to turn your dream around, it's going to be this man. It's going to be a Chinese lifter. They've just been spectacular this week. And Zhong Gushon hit 166, 171. He's now going for 172. He posted 173, but he's brought it back a kilo. But this will be 1 kilo over the Albanian.
No, it's gone.
Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it. Goodelli is the gold medalist at the World Championships in Snatch. A massive moment for Albania. A huge moment. And he wasn't even the European champion. Now he's the world champion in Snatch. And, wow, Zhong Gushon will have to settle for silver, having come out at a much higher weight than the others. He came out at 166. Goodelli started at 163 and looked happy with that. And ends up with 171. And the lead going into the clean and jerk.
Cannot believe what we've just witnessed there. To remember, though, we're only halfway through the competition. Up and congratulating Daniel, but he still needs to stay focused.
Yes, but let's not forget, no Albanian lifter has ever won gold at the World Championships. Begaj of Albania took bronze in the snatch of the women's 58s in 2011, but that's it. And there's the standings. Goodelli on top, Gushon in second, Song in third. And those will be carried forward to the clean and jerk and the total overall.